Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and today's review we're doing For the Royalty as we take a look at from Transformers Legacy Wave 3 Voyager class Inferno. Inferno is an ant and is an update to the classic Beast Wars character, whose original toy, if I'm not mistaken, really didn't do well, and so the repaint didn't do well either. But this is actually a pretty cool figure. We're starting off in ant mode. Um, Unfortunately, there is no uncle mode. Oh, that's funny. And basically, what it is, and there's none of the gimmicks from the original toy. Unfortunately, the only accessory is this blaster slash thruster. A little disappointment there. If some of you follow what I think are the one of the worst ideas Hasbro has done, the designer desk breakdowns, they said that to get the blue here in the eyes, they had to compromise and not include the flamethrower weapon that is more iconic to Inferno. This was actually, I think, on the original toy, the missile launcher from the rear that was part of like the flight and spinning gimmick. So yeah, but you do have you have ports here for blast effects. You can connect it to things, but really it would have been nice if you could store the blaster in the abdomen for a clean animal look, but that didn't work out. Really disappointed that this figure didn't come with a guitar and slide to play it. And if some of you get that, then you give yourself a pat on the back. You won the internet for the day. Really, the only movement here you have is the mandibles up front, which are nice. The arm and then the ant legs, and I do have to tip my hat to Hasbro. These are all hinges, not ball joints. So this will last a little bit longer. You can say pinned in the front here. This is like hooked into what will be the wrist. So that's pinned in the hips. So yeah, and they are movable. You can get for some positioning and what have you. I kind of think I have this set up right. Between the pictures I've seen online and on the box and in the instructions, they show the legs positioned different way. And really, this is the best way I was able to get it, where all the legs are touching down. So that's kind of cool. But I think that's about it for ant mode. So we'll pause, we'll come back, and take a look at robot mode. I did neglect to mention that I picked this figure up from Amazon.com, and I think it might still be available, but definitely what's not available is a figure I unfortunately had to cancel, and that was Transmetal 2 Leader Class Megatron. Basically, as we've talked about before on the channel, a lot of stuff came months earlier than expected, and I had to let it go. So hopefully down the line I'll be able to pick that guy up, because I thought the Dragon mode looked cool. The robot mode, But then again, you guys know me, I'm a little on beast modes to begin with. So to start the transformation, let's come around the rear here, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up the ant abdomen, or the rear, thorax maybe? And basically what you want to do is open up these panels. This top one pegs into the two side panels here. And then you're going to unpeg the side panels from what will be the robot mode legs. There's little holes there, posts in the leg. So just go ahead and do that. Leave that open. Make sure these can open up quite a bit. And the transformation is fairly easy, I should mention, but the moving around the ant legs, that can make it a little tricky. And what you want to do is work the legs down. They are on a double hinge. So you want to kind of friction them into place so they look straight. And let's just move that out of the way. Come down to what will be the feet, and you'll unpeg them from the ankles and swing them all the way around. That the little heel sections are there. And you can then separate the legs from being pegged together. And then what you want to do is straighten them out, so you basically have some sort of mechanized hybrid ant Gerwalk mode. I guess what we can do now is you want to reach up and grab what will be the waist and bring that back. Now, we're not closing the shell here in the back. You can do that. And then, once you have the legs free, we're just leaving that since it's part of the gimmick. I can show you in robot mode. Position the rear legs out of the way. You can then, on that, hinge that section back, then rotate the individual legs back, just to give you a little bit of hand room so you can bring around the waist. So you have the legs facing forward. Now the arms are not that tricky, but again, you're dealing with these ant legs. First thing you want to do is start to fold them out, pull up, and that will untab them because they tab at what will be the shoulder, and then you just bring them out. And once we bring them out about halfway here, you want to start rotating that upper ant leg just to give yourself some clearance, while also rotating the other ant leg around on the wrist joint so it's facing towards you. And just for the record, you do want, if we can, I'm going to swivel the arm around and open it up, you want the hand, when you go into ant mode, to look like that, because the thumb will actually peg into a slot there in the inner torso. So let's try to work this around. I mean, it's really however you want to position these ant legs is up to you. I'm just showing you how to do it in the best way to keep them out of the way, so your transformation is a little bit easier. And once you have that one arm out, you can go ahead and do it here on this end. And again, it's really great that these are hinges and not ball joints. I think they work a little bit better in that regard. So is this going to stand up? Because I got to adjust the camera just a little so we can show you the coolness that is the torso transformation. And we're just doing that. So come into the front now, and you want to split the head open, the ant head open, bring up the little antennae like that. Now, some people have said that this is as far as the head can open. On mine, I'm able to get this to open all the way, so you can flip the head down, close the pinchers, and bring them in easily without having to fold around the joint. I don't know if I'm breaking something. I don't know if that's the wrong way to do it. But then close up the ant head, and then as you bring it down, there's a peg here on the waist that will tab in underneath. And yeah, there you go. We've got Inferno in its robot mode, and you just finish flotsing around with the ant legs. Yeah, I got these up in position. And yeah, there you go. That's an ugly robot, but it is very accurate to the show. And what's really cool is you bring the head up a little. You can open Inferno's head. You do have a little bit of an articulated mouth, some light piping, all that good stuff. So there's that. And I mean, it is a little back heavy, unfortunately, so I'm trying to carry the weight better. There we go. It does have ankle tilts, so that's kind of cool. You have the usual joints, double jointed elbows, universal joints in the shoulders, a lot of hinges and swivels and bends. Oh my. Hinges and swivels and bends. Oh my. Again, the ant legs, you have a lot of joints to work with, to move them around. Now, I mentioned that there was a special feature here with the abdomen, and it's basically if you go ahead now and open these panels all the way, and they will friction back into place, you'll notice that there is a hidden fourth panel that you just open up, rotate, bring it down, and this starts to rotate. Well, what's going on here? Well, what's going on is that if you were to take the blaster and just peg it in. And if you notice, you want to have it with the post facing up because that's how the groove fits. We have our, from the old Beast Wars toy, the rotating flying ant butt. So you do have that, but you can, of course, close this up naturally. What's cool is even without the legs being pegged into place, you position this just right, you can just peg the shells in, bring that down, adjust it ever so slightly, and you can, that actually helps a lot with the balance of the weight, and the weapon here will peg into the hand. It does look like this whole weapon is just clear red plastic that's been painted, so kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So I think that's about it for Inferno. Really fun, cool looking figure. So we'll pause and come back with my final thoughts. So yeah, well, I've never been the biggest Beast Wars fan. I do have to say I kind of dig Inferno. I did watch at least one season of Beast Wars, and the character stuck out to me as being that like little over the top, little crazy, which is kind of cool. And then to find out, watching a special feature, that the character was voiced none other by Jim Burns, aka Joe Dawson from Highlander the series, a show that I thoroughly enjoyed in the 90s, and was quite happy to see him included. And that's actually why I made the joke about the guitar and slide. Jim Burns is actually an accomplished musician, blues singer, and slide guitar player. So, and in fact, I think a few of the cast of Beast Wars also made special appearances on Highlander the series. But yeah, so this figure I do believe is showing up at retail as we speak, but it's definitely available online. Amazon, Hasbro Pulse, other retailers. So definitely check it out if you are a fan. I know a lot of people were waiting for this particular figure to complete their season 1 Beast Wars upgrade legacy shelf, the upgrades to those characters. So I'm glad for all of you that you are able to finally finish your collection, your line. If I think for some people this might be it. This might be their swan song out of the hobby because they have all the figures they want. God bless those people. But that's it for the review. If you like this review, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. That always helps with the algorithms from YouTube, even though I will always appreciate your views and taking the time to watch me and a grown man struggle with modern toys. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you, help me to help you bring figures like Inferno to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of this channel. But as I always say, I know we are in a very odd times right now. Very odd. There's inflation, recession. Times are tough, and if it's the difference between putting gas in your car to go to work, putting food on your family's table, or throwing a couple bucks to the idiot on YouTube, you take care of yourself and your family first. I'll be fine. Patreon is a cherry on top of an already generous YouTube Sunday. So, this is your old pal Chuck for Inferno, for the royalty. We will see you next time.